Imagine that every year when you sit down for your performance review, your manager gives you a lottery ticket. Is that lottery ticket really going to motivate you to work as hard as you can over the next year? And if you get another job offer, is that lottery ticket that you get every year really going to keep you in your seat? Probably not. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 mistakes your employees make with their equity awards, and that's one of them. But before we get to the mistakes, let's talk about why you care. Because you might be thinking, you know what, we've done our part, we granted the equity awards. If employees don't seek out the education they need to make smart decisions, that's on them. Unfortunately, I think it's also on you. Because if employees are making mistakes with their equity awards, that's likely to cause them to devalue those awards. It's likely to make them feel badly about the whole equity program, and it's likely to make them feel badly about you as their employer. When employees are making mistakes with their equity awards, the awards are not motivational and they are not retaining your employees. It is critical for you to try to help prevent your employees from making mistakes so that you get the return on investment that you are looking for from your equity program. All right, mistake number 1 is failing to assign the appropriate value to their equity awards. When this happens, the awards become essentially a lottery ticket. Employees think, well, maybe this thing will pay out, but I'm not counting on it. And if they're not counting on their awards paying out, the awards are not motivating them and they are not retaining them. So what can you do about it? Well, there are lots of things you can do to address this concern, starting with having a great education program that communicates the value of equity awards to employees. But my favorite strategy to tackle this concern is the use of employees' peers. When employees trust their peers and when they see that their peers value the equity program, it is going to make them think twice about their own equity awards. The use of peer testimonials is one of the most powerful tools that you have in your education toolbox, and it is one of the most underutilized. Mistake number 2. As many of you know, ESPPs are just near and dear to my heart. And too often I hear an employee say, well, I thought about the ESPP, but I've decided that too much of my wealth is already over-concentrated in my employer, and so I just don't think the ESPP makes sense for me. And at first, that sounds like a really smart statement. It sounds like this employee knows what they're talking about. They really thought about it. They used the word over-concentrated. That sounds fancy. And they made a really smart and considered decision. I don't agree, however. It's true, your employees absolutely should be concerned about having too much of their wealth over-concentrated in their employer. But the main concern with over-concentration is one of risk. That if you have too much of your wealth concentrated in a single asset, that creates too much risk for your overall portfolio, and the solution is to diversify. And that's true, but most ESPPs are designed to significantly reduce the amount of risk involved in buying company stock. In fact, most ESPPs provide really a fantastic return for very, very little risk. So that concern about over-concentration of your wealth in your employer, that's valid, and it might be a perfectly valid reason for your employees to immediately sell the stock they acquire upon purchasing it in the ESPP, but I don't think it's a valid reason for them to not be in the ESPP at all. So what can you do about it? Well, I really think that risk needs to be part of your education program. It is critical that employees understand the risk involved in buying company stock, when they incur that risk, and how your equity awards are designed to minimize that risk, including your ESPP. So I really think this is an issue that you just tackle head on in your education about your ESPP so that employees understand what kind of risk they're incurring by participating in the ESPP and when that risk becomes significant for them. Mistake number 3. With this mistake, and we see it all the time, employees making decisions about their equity awards based on tax and not based on a sound financial strategy. This is essentially the tail wagging the dog, hence my graphic. Equity awards, like I said, they are an investment, and it is critical that your employees understand how the awards fit into their financial strategy, how the awards can help them accomplish their financial goals, and those two things should be the primary driver of their transaction decisions. Sure, taxes are consideration. If you can, you want to minimize your taxes, but taxes should not be the primary driver of their decisions. So why do employees make this mistake? Well, I'll tell you. The reason why employees make this mistake is because as employers, we often tend to focus a lot on the tax treatment of equity awards to the exclusion of the financial and investment aspects of those awards. It is critical that you have a well-rounded education program that discusses the tax treatment. Sure, that is important, but also helps employees understand the financial aspects of their equity awards, gives them access to financial education, and gives them access to financial guidance, possibly even the opportunity to meet one-on-one with financial advisors who can help them really come up with a strategy and understand how equity awards fit into that strategy. So these are just 3 mistakes that we cover in a total of 10 mistakes in the summer issue of the NESPP Advisor newsletter. We cover all 10, and we provide mitigation strategies for all 10 mistakes. So if you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll check out the summer issue of the Advisor newsletter, and I hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're notified when we post new videos. Thanks for watching.